Inspiration. This is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or to feel something, especially to do something creative. Hi, this is Clarity Coach Lucy, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. A happy new year to you. Welcome to the Leading Self series this January. This is a 4-part series, and in this series we are going to be covering what it is we're talking about today, which is words that inspire you. 7 simple steps on how to get the most out of your day, tips for your success, and the last episode will be on goal setting. Now, this is targeted for you who has already set out all your New Year's resolutions, whether they're 10, whether they're 5, whether it's just 1. This is for you, because I can relate with what it is that you are looking to be able to achieve. Therefore, I am going to share with you my personal experience to help you nail 2023 very easily. Now, in case you are here and you are seated on the fence and you're not sure about your goals and how to go about them, then this is for you too. And I do hope that at the end of this specific episode, these words will have inspired you to pick up that goal, that dream, that vision, and just run with it. So let's just jump straight into it. We have all been stuck in a rut, stuck in that place where we just feel that things are not moving forward. No matter what we try to do, no matter which way we go, even if we have the tools, we get trouble just getting motivated. And our goals seem either too weak or too far to reach or just overwhelming. So I can relate to you. I've been there, done that, and I've got the proverbial t-shirt. In short, I have felt uninspired many a time. But we're here today for Tuesday Talks at 3 to be able to help you nail 2023. Now, some self-improvement experts will tell you that you have to have a good attitude in order to improve your life. You have to have a good attitude in order to improve your life. And I couldn't agree with them more, but it's not always that easy. It's actually easier said than done, but we need to have a good attitude so that we can improve our life. So it's hard to set aggressive goals and get inspired. Because of course, as you're moving from one season to another, and this time we're going to say from one year to another, it is hard for you to just set the same goals that you had last year. Whether or not you achieved the goals of last year, we always want to measure growth. We are beings. It's about growing. Every day we are growing. Growing in wisdom, growing in age, growing in knowledge. We are growing. So it's hard to set those aggressive goals and get inspired to achieve them when our mindset is not right. And I'm sure you've heard this a lot. It's about having that mindset. Do you have a fixed mindset? Do you have a growth mindset? Now, if your mind is not ready to embrace more exciting goals, that's another story. But I would encourage you to look at what you set out last year, whether or not you achieved it. And I would encourage you to push your limit. Because when you're in that area where you're uncomfortable, then growth is happening. So if you are ready, if your mindset is ready and you want to go for it, and now we are choosing for a growth mindset, then we can be able to see some change. But if not, then change will be at best very difficult. In fact, if you're not ready for it, then it will be hard to conquer even the small challenges that come across your way. And you know that whenever you set out on something, there will always be challenges. But if your mind is not set well, if you are not ready for it, you won't be able to conquer these challenges. And if you can't take on small challenges, then it's going to be absolutely impossible to change your life, at least to the degree that you ultimately would like. Now, to that end, I recommend using action to inspire yourself and create change. Action. Many a times we have been told, put down some action plans and work on them. And we may say that in effect, we are putting the cart before the horse, in that we are forcing our attitude to match our actions. Remember, we're talking about mindset and talking about actions. Well, if you shake things up by taking action first, you will get your mind ready to create and to pursue even greater dreams, even greater goals, even greater visions, believe me. So in this episode, I take you through 5 action verbs that can help you get inspired and get you out of a rut. Now, if you use these techniques that I'm just going to take you through, it's just 5 simple action verbs, you will naturally find yourself on the road to change. You may ask, how easy does that sound, Lucy? Is it possible? It is very possible. I would like that when I go through those 5 action verbs, that you take a moment and place yourself within that verb. Remember, a verb is a doing word, and see yourself doing that word. See yourself as to how you have done that word before and how you want to do it today. Change leads to bigger and better goals. Mark my words. And bigger and better goals lead to accepting greater challenges, and so on. It's just that one thing after another, but you've got to start with something. And right now I want us to jump into the 5 action verbs that I want you to consider for yourself. Some of them you've already done. I want you to look at them from a different perspective. And I'll be sharing with you what I have done with these action verbs and why they worked for me. Action verb number 1, give. Give is a verb. It just means that it is what you have. You're either pouring out, you're either sharing, or you're literally just giving it out. So what do I mean by give? I mean give of yourself, something to somebody. So you could give it to charity, you could give it to a friend, you could give it to a relative. You could also give it to yourself. Because once you build and fill up your cup, you're able to even give more. You don't have to give something that is expensive, that has got a high price tag on it. You can give a card, you can give a flower. What I have found works for me is giving of my time. When I give of my time, I find more value. I get more fulfilled. And how do I give of my time? I either text intentionally. So I wake up this morning and I decide I am going to text so-and-so or a group of people, or I'm going to reach out on this association, or I'm going to reach out to a charity. And I do it. Or I visit intentionally. I give of my time. It's something I think about. I don't go into autopilot. I choose to do it, then I action on it. So this action verb, give, is very powerful for me. And in 2022, I personally benefited from this. It taught me that there's a lot that can go around. It taught me that whatever I have is enough. It is sufficient to share. Think about a mother, think about a father, that they can love their children and still get other children and continue to love them. They can even have up to 12, 14 children and still have love to give. This is what giving is all about. You need to know how to fill your cup so that you can give out. And I absolutely loved it in 2022 when I was able to give out intentionally. And I have great gratitude for that. That is the first verb, give. And I can see here that I have quite a few of you who have joined me today. Nancy, Njeri, I can see, oh, Sharon, great to see you guys. Welcome. The conversation today is about words that inspire. And the first word that we have looked at that will be able to inspire you out of a rut is the word give. What did you give in 2022? What are you giving already in 2023? What do you want to fine tune so that you can give more of in 2023? This is very important. It is a great place for you to be. It teaches us that it is an uplifting experience. It teaches us that it is something that frees up our minds and gets us to thinking about things we never thought before. And these are things that are coming back to us because of giving. Well, that is verb number 1. Verb number 2 that I benefited greatly from in 2022 was learn. When you think of learn, what words come up for you? What emotions come up for you? Learning, I'm talking about something about learning things that you know nothing about. And if it's something that you know something about, you're taking it to another level. You've heard of the proverbial, coming up with ideas. And when you come up with ideas, you are set in a way of doing things. But tomorrow you wake up and you're inspired to do something different with that very idea. Because actually in this world, somebody has done something before you. What you can do is take what they have done and add your own essence. So you need to learn how to do that. So you can learn a new language, you can learn a new dance, you can learn how to play an instrument. You can learn so much. For me, what I have learned this year and where I've challenged myself is in this digital space. In 2022, I learned how to work and maneuver around TikTok, and I am still learning. I felt that I needed space on TikTok, and therefore I took it on and I started learning where? Right here on the internet. I went onto YouTube videos and I just started reading them up and watching them up and applying. Of course, half of the time I failed and I didn't know how to do it. But I was learning something new. And guess what? Because my mind stretched, it's not going to shrink back. What I now know about TikTok is not going to go away. I can only build on it. I can only build on it. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is learn something to make that wheel even better and make it be able to serve you. Another thing that I was able to jump on to learning in 2022 was about selling online courses. Well, first I had to create them, right? So I created online courses. And now I have them on my website. And so I'm selling them. I'm not as successful as I would have wanted to be. But guess what? My mind has stretched because of the learning. So what is it that you learned in 2022 that you can actually learn a bit more about so that you can only be better this year? That when we look at December 31st, 2023, and we look back at January 2023, you will have measured growth just through learning. So once your mind is expanded, it doesn't shrink. Hey, that is something that I loved knowing in 2022. The third verb that I bring to you is change. Now, change, we all know, is inevitable. Change happens all the time. How does change inspire us if we are stuck in this rut? Being stuck in a rut could mean that there's a routine. So let's take a goal that you have. You had a goal from last year, and maybe there were certain things you were doing over and over so that you could achieve this goal. You could bring it into fruition, but nothing happened. What you had done, in essence, is created a routine. So change actually suggests that we can be able to change that routine. We can be able to look at something different. I take a very good example. If you walk to work or you walk to school, if you drive to the supermarket or you take a specific jogging route, today, change things up a little bit. Take a different route. And what you will find is that there's other opportunities for you to see life going on. The environment is different. The experience is different. Even the elements are different in whatever area that you have chosen to change. Change up your hairstyle. I changed my hairstyle in 2023, and I can assure you the challenges that I went through when I changed my hairstyle allowed me to see things in different perspective. Change what you eat. Change how you plate your food. Change how you shop. Just change. What that change does for you is that it begets change. Change begets change. If you want big change, start by making small changes. It gets you into the zone of changing things up. And once you change things up, you cannot go back. In fact, you end up having this thirst to change up even more. Now, the fourth one, this verb, is a different kind of verb. In the last three verbs, we've been talking about individual. That is where we are pulling the strength from. This is individuality, where I'm asking you to give. You're choosing from yourself to give. You are alone as you're giving. You are alone as you're intentionally deciding to call somebody. You are alone as you're intentionally visiting somebody. This action is for you and yourself so that you can get inspired. The other action was to learn. Again, this was individual. This was you sitting in a classroom. This was you being on Zoom. This was you reading a book. This was you learning a new craft. This was you sitting with a mentor who is teaching you new ways to do things. And then change. Now, all these three were demanding of you as an individual to do on your own. The fourth action verb is participate. Now, participate in community activities is a great thing. I beg your pardon, participating in community activities is a great thing. Why? Because as you participate with others, you get to see how this one thing can be done in many different ways, and it inspires you. That rut that you're stuck in when you're looking at your dream, your goal, your vision, when you're looking at your New Year's resolution, you will actually see another way to do it. And the only way you can do that is if you participate in community activities, such as you can join sports. And you will see how people conquer different challenges in different ways when it comes to sport. You could be able to join a religious group and see how people have different doctrines, how they think differently, how they apply differently. You could be looking at participating in an association, how people plug differently in associations. This is something that helps you. Simply and purely, this verb will motivate you to apply yourself in a social setting. In fact, it takes you further because you're outside your comfort zone. Now, when you're outside your comfort zone and you become uncomfortable, you are already registering growth. Remember those words. You are registering growth, I beg your pardon, whenever you're outside your comfort zone. If you're sitting and you can do this thing with your eyes closed, then there's no challenge. There's no growth. That means that season is over. It's time to shake things up. And this is why we are here with words that inspire, words that will help you get unstuck, words that are going to help you get out of that rut. So why does participating work? Participating requires social interaction and creativity because you have to have different ways to doing the same thing. And at times, you may discover that there was something you did not know you had a need for, and suddenly it is birthed, and you can actually come across it through creativity. You can make it real through creativity. You can execute it through creativity. How about that for inspiration? This will stimulate you and inspire you to levels that you never thought before. Now, in 2022, I participated in social learning groups made up of people from all over the world. I interacted with different time zones. Half of the time in the beginning of the year, I got lost and I wasn't sure what time it was when. So Google became my best friend. And I started appreciating that the different time zones just meant that I had already experienced the day ahead of somebody else. Or somebody else was already living my yesterday. It was interesting how that was just mind-boggling for me. But by the time these people were awake, I was able to fashion my ideas, my responses, my questions that I wanted to interact with them on. I was able to interact with cultures, different cultures. I was able to see how people interact on the screen, and I realized the many things that we have in common as a human race. It was so amazing that even as I sat here in Nairobi, in Kenya, in Africa, and I was busy contacting people in Australia, at the same time calling up a Zoom meeting with somebody in Indonesia and in America, and even in West Africa, where time zones are so different, we were all after the same thing. And at the end of the day, I made friends. And actually just this December, I met 2 people who had come into Nairobi, people that I met on Zoom as I was learning on these social learning groups. 2 people that came in to Kenya. One was from Barbados and one was from West Africa, specifically Nigeria. It was amazing to sit down with these people now face to face and not on the screen like this, and just be able to learn even more. And we appreciated each other. So participating in a social network, in a social environment, helps you to make friends, but it also helps to stimulate and inspire you. The discussions that I had in December with these 2 individuals were just amazing. And already I'm applying this in my business. Different things that came to pass because of this particular verb. And I encourage you to think about participation. The last one is create. Create. This is an amazing verb. Create a piece of art. Write a short story. Make a bookshelf. Or start a website. Whatever it is, create something from scratch. Do you remember when you were a child? You were able to have a lot of imagination and apply it. And as you applied this imagination, you managed to build things, and the adults would look at you and say, okay, with that look of they're trying to understand what it is you've done, and they're asking you, okay, so what is this? What have you put together for us? And in your imagination, the words that came out that were able to describe this creativity were just profound, and you believed it. I would love for you to tap into that child. That child still resides in you. Yes, as we grow older, we tend to quieten that child within us. I'm encouraging you to have that child get their voice back and create. How does creating work? How does it help you as an action verb? It stimulates all those dormant forces that allow change to enter your life. And I encourage you to do this. Think about it. Think about what it is that you want to be able to do. In 2022, I created content for my business. And this was me creating every day. It became a habit. I could not go a day without creating. In fact, when I took leave in December, I was besides myself. I knew I was supposed to be creating something. I had been bitten by the bug of creation. I was inspired every day, and I encourage you to be able to create, to be inspired. So what was it I was creating for my business? I was creating blog posts, and which you're going to be reading this year. I have decided I am writing another book. And the shortest way for me to write a book is to create a blog post. So I've been putting and pouring my ideas on paper and just writing away on my screen. And all of this is taking shape. And I am so inspired whenever I go back to the next blog post. And I do hope you're going to enjoy them when you read them. I created courses, like I said to you. And as I created courses, I was putting myself in the shoe of the trainee. That meant I was understanding where they were coming from so that I could meet them at their need. I could provide, I could meet them at their need. I could provide a solution for them. Social media posts, you're already encouraged to come up with your own social media posts. I did it, you can do it. I never went to school for it. I just read up. I attended courses online. I do not have a degree in social media, but what I do have is practice, and experience. And now I am a guru. and you can do it too. So my social media posts, I've had so much fun putting them together in 2022, and this year I promise you, you're going to have more interactive social media posts from me. Now this particular process of creating allowed me to have a different perspective of things in 2022, and now I'm bringing it to 2023. Well, there you have it. You have 5 of my personally tested 5 action verbs that have inspired me and primed me to create and pursue more exciting goals in 2023. I am being audacious. Somebody said to me the other day, if nobody is laughing at your goals, then your goals are very small. Somebody somewhere should be saying to you, that is very audacious of you. Do you really think that you can achieve that? Now that's a goal. That's getting you out of your comfort zone and making you grow, because when you feel uncomfortable, I said to you, that is when growth is happening. Now, each time that you perform one of these inspiring actions that I have taken you through, which were give, learn, change, participate, and create, you must stop for a moment and internalize the feeling. I want you to feel good so that you can be inspired. I want you to feel good as you participate so that you can be inspired to keep moving. You want your attitude. Remember what I said in the beginning. You want your attitude to catch up to your actions. So with these 5 action verbs, your mindset is already changing. Your mindset gears are already moving forward. You are shifting from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And therefore, by the time you have your actions for your New Year's resolutions, it will be a walk in the park, because you will already know the possibilities that you are going for. Your mind will already be ready. Also, make sure to enjoy the process. At times we concentrate so much on actions that we forget to smell the roses. We forget to smell the coffee. Knowing all along that you are doing what you're meant to do and what you love to do and what is good for you. This adds on the inspiration. Now, sometimes just the reviewing of these action verbs, like I have shared them with you, will be inspiration enough. They will be getting you to think about other things that you can be doing. And I'm sure that you can think of other verbs on your own. Remember though, nothing happens without you taking action. Well, that is it, and we've come to the end of our session today of Tuesday Talks, Words That Inspire, and therefore here are 3 takeaways for you. The first thing is check your mindset. Are you in the proper mindset so that you can apply to those actions that you have put for your New Year's resolution? Only you can answer that question. Take on small challenges every day. Shake it up so that you can be inspired. Take it as a learning process. And then third but not least, the takeaway is start now. Thank you. The recording of this episode will be available on my YouTube channel this evening. And while you're there, please remember to hit subscription and notification buttons for updates on latest recordings. The 2023 Personal Planning January cohort number 1 is sold out, guys. However, you have not been left behind. We are opening up registration for February, the February cohort very soon. Please check out our social media platforms for details. In the meantime, remember to like our Facebook page and follow us here on IG to receive regular updates of these scheduled talks that we have. We are now on TikTok, like I say. I'm proud to be on TikTok now, and I'm only going to get better. And if you've got any tips for me, please just drop them for me here so that I can be a better TikToker. And I am there as Clarity Coach Lucy. Visit our website, lmcconsultancy.com, for more on our services. Let us help to build one another. Well, our next episode is 7 simple steps to get more out of your day. Remember, this is the Leading Self series, and we want you to be able to know how to lead yourself this 2023. Until then, be kind to yourselves. Bye-bye now.